Hello and welcome to Silver Touch demo of data exchange mechanism between two government bodies or departments which facilitates normal users or customers with various schemes, and the data is being shared between various departments which is allocated and finalized by the main moderator, or we can say admin. The presented app is built with Node.js, AngularJS, and the blockchain access is being maintained and managed with Web3. The blockchain mechanism which is used in this application is Ethereum's testnet private network. The whole mechanism which we have built right now has a following process and working scenario. There is a master admin or a moderator user which has the facility to create departments, moderator for the departments, create new schemes and allocate those schemes to the department. For the default purpose, we have added 100 users to scheme 1 of department 1. For department 1, we have renamed it and mentioned it as a home department which has all the user data, and for department 2, we have considered is a transport department which is making request to the home department for the user data access. Let's have a brief walkthrough for the admin functionality. You can see the admin dashboard right now. All the users which have been added by the admin, the number and the statistics are shown of total number of users, total number of departments created, and total number of schemes available. And below is the graphical view of the data access available to various departments. Home department or department 1 has all the users data available to view and utilize, while transport department or department 2 has 90 users data which are ready to utilize, and 10 user data needs to be synced or may have request. Let's have a view for creation of moderator user. We are creating a new user for irrigation DPT. Okay, simple mechanism for validation purpose of the application. Once the data is being added, we would check the number of role. If you want to create a super admin user, then that also can be created over here. Now we are creating a user for a department. So let's create a user for the department. Once the data is being submitted, the call is being made to the Ethereum's testnet blockchain, and the transaction is being created, and the data which we are using right now. Let's see the moderator. The new moderator is over here, and the transaction is being created over here. So you can see it out. All the transaction are being stored in RDBMS for the fetching purpose. Now let's create a department for assignment process. I'm creating a new department called irrigation, and I would associate it the created user to this particular department. Once the request is added, the new transaction block would be created, and the transaction would be stored in the database for the access mechanism. Here is the new department. Here is the transaction for the referential process, and the newly created Ethereum address for the transaction receiving and response process. All the user data are being added by admin over here, which is already all available over here. We have already added 100 users data as provided by Chattisgarh state, and which is already being added and managed by the super admin or the moderator. Now let's jump into the moderator's dashboard. Let's go to the home department or department 1's dashboard over here. You can see on its personal dashboard that a graphical view of data number of users available with the complete set of data, and this section would show the request made by various departments for data access. Now the transport department or department 2 doesn't have the data available for sync. So let's deep dive for department transport and look into the data. The graphical view of the department would show that 90 users are already synced and 10 users are still awaited. So let's go to view users data. From here, admin would be the admin of transport department would make a request for sharing the data, and here all the departments except the admin who have complete set of data would be listed over here. In our case right now, home department has complete set of data, so we would send the request to home department, and once the request is sent, the transaction would be sent to the Ethereum network, and the request mechanism would be sent over. Here is the transactional hash for the users which we have made right now. Here is the status. This status particularly shows that the is DataExchange has been shared or not. Now let's go to the home department for the approval process of the data. Now the home department has 10 requests, a single request with 10 entities. So let's deep dive into that. Here the department user can see the complete data information of a particular user, that what sort of data is being requested. Just to view a diff info, now we do select all the data and approve the request. Once the request is being carried out successfully, the data would be removed and the transaction would be marked in the blockchain itself. Now see the updates. Here is the status and the transaction has newly created over here. Okay, now let's check it out, the data access for transport department. And yes, here it is. Now we have 100 data available for the user, and if you see the view users data from 91 to 100, we have all the data available. So by this mechanism, we can make the data process more simpler, faster and easier to access. By using the three-tier architecture of RDBMS and blockchain, we can make the data access mechanism faster, smoother, and the blockchain itself gives an authentic layer of encryption for data storage and processing, while RDBMS store the request response parameters to process the transactions along with transaction hash. Thank you for looking the video.